So what about vaccines play a role in prevention of death? This was the other real benefit that the CDC said. Well, what about that they may contribute to some deaths? Because back in 1982, this was a really good study that was published by the American Academy of Neurology. And that what they said was that in the study of 103 SID deaths, 66% had had the DPT prior to within 3 weeks of when they died. Now, this was DPT. This was back in 82. We are using DTAP, the acellular pertussis, the little A that goes in front of there now. So we don't see quite as many SIDS deaths, but they haven't stopped. And the fact that, now that we're laying children on their backs instead of their stomachs is decreasing the SIDS rate. I mean, we've been laying kids on their backs for 30,000 years. I mean, as long as we've been having babies, we've been laying them on their bellies. And so something else has sort of changed, and the SIDS is still around. We just don't hear about it quite as much. Now, what does the CDC say about all these reactions? I mean, we've talked about all the side effects, all those stuff with the hepatitis B and the side effects of the chickenpox vaccine. What do they really say in their literature about this? This is a mantra that you hear over and over again. Temporal association does not prove causality. And what that means in plain language is that when two things happen at the same time, you can't prove that one caused the other. So just because you had a vaccine and you had a reaction, you can't prove that it was the vaccine that caused the reaction. So this is always in all of their literature, the Institute of Medicine literature, the CDC stuff. Temporal association does not prove causality is the way, just like in those studies I read you, a way to just line it all out. So what if you have a really bad reaction? Because we know that this happens. I mean, we've even set up the National Vaccine Injury Compensation Program where people are supposed to be able to go and get money if they have a vaccine injury. Who are we supposed to blame for this? Well, it's not the vaccine because we write all those things out. It can't be that. And it's really not the doctor because the doctor, through the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program, is absconded from liability. And the manufacturer can't be sued because of the Vaccine Injury Compensation Act. And the government isn't responsible because you can't sue the government anyways. We'd all like to, but you really can't. So what happens? Well, in conventional thinking, the way conventional medical doctors think about this, is that the vaccine injury must have triggered some inevitable thing that happened. And that these children had some sort of a weakness that was would have been manifested at this point with or without the vaccine. So who takes the hit? The genetically defective child. Now, I can attest to the fact that this is truly conventional thinking, because when I started getting into this work and I started going back into thinking about when I was an emergency room doctor and parents would come in with a child that was seizing and say, I just got my shots 2 hours ago, do you think it had anything to do with that? Didn't have anything to do with it. I saw SIDS babies. I put 2 guys in jail over shaken baby syndrome. I mean, there was a whole bunch of forgiveness and healing work I had to do retrospectively of how I just wrote that all off because vaccines are safe and effective and they don't cause any harm. And I really remember thinking, well, maybe there really was something wrong with that kid if they couldn't handle those vaccines because they're just kind of benign things. So somewhere in our subconscious training, doctors are kind of trained to think like that. And when I actually ran across this, I couldn't believe it. This actually comes from the CDC. That there is no distinct syndrome from vaccine administration, and therefore many temporally associated adverse events probably represent background illness rather than illness caused by the vaccine. And the DPT may stimulate or precipitate inevitable symptoms of underlying CNS disorders such as seizures, infantile spasms, epilepsy, or SIDS. And by chance alone, some of these cases will seem related to the DPT. In plain language, they write it off. Who's the problem here? The defective kid. It's certainly not the vaccine, and of course you had a defective child that sooner or later was going to end up with a seizure disorder. Anyways, I was just appalled when I read this, and somehow this is where this has all come from, and it's part of the indoctrination of thinking. There is a subliminal, subconscious, I don't know if it's actually said in these words during our medical training and things like this, but this is what we were taught to believe. And when I actually saw this in this pink book, it's called the Pink Book, the 6th edition, Epidemiology and Prevention. It's one of the classic textbooks from the CDC about vaccination. When I actually saw that in print, I was really just appalled.